Hi everyone, I'm Martina. I studied a semester in Japan and I've been to this country 5 times already, so I share my journey with you and hope you can find some new hidden spots through my videos. If you got a Ghibli reservation and you don't know what to do on that day, I got you. And can we please talk about how hard it is to get a reservation? I was lucky that I had one tab that only had 200 people in front of me, but I can't even give you advice how to make it better. I was just happy that I was able to get a reservation. We headed to Kichijoji area, which is the area where the museum is in. I'm happy that it wasn't the only thing that we planned here today, because I wanted to go to petit mura, but it is so small. I think if I just came for this, I would be a little bit disappointed. From the pictures that I saw, I thought it would be bigger, but it is quite narrow and I don't know what they do when it gets crowded. When we were there, it wasn't too full, so that was nice. Most of the stores and cafes were already closed, but we found a very cozy cat cafe, and since we were a bit tired on the day, maybe it was a mini jet lag, we decided to go there and spend our time with some cozy friends. This spot was right inside Petit Mura and everything looked on brand. It looked very fairy tale-like, and they had so many cats. The cats also had some space when they wanted to get away from the visitors, so I really appreciated that they had a little quiet area as well. And you got a little binder with introductions of all of the cats, and I was so excited to find all of them and meet all of them. The drink that I ordered looked cute as well, and that's all we got here. You also have to cover everything properly so that the cats don't drink from it. Oh, and they also had rules for feeding the cats. If one of them was wearing a necklace, you were not allowed to give them any treats. You can also buy some treats as a little extra to get along with the cats. There was one cat that looked like my cat Goldie, and I missed her so much, but she didn't want to eat my snacks, and when I tried to touch her, she almost bit me. And Goldie is like that as well, so it felt like she was her sister on another part of the world. In the end, she ate my snack and I was happy and she was happy and I left, so she was extra happy. It was such a cozy morning and we headed to the center of Kichijoji. I wanted to visit a place that offers Ghibli lunches. When we arrived, they only had a non-Ghibli menu that was quite pricey, but I will share the locations with you so it fits into your Ghibli-themed day. And there's also another branch of Shiroge's cream puffs, which I visited on almost all of my Japan trips. They offer those super cute and delicious Totoro cream puffs, so if you want to stay on brand, you should pay them a visit. Since the restaurant didn't have what we wanted, we went to Kura Sushi instead, where you get sushi for a cheap price. I'd rather recommend you to go to Sushiro, as I feel like the quality is better, but we really enjoyed our lunch as it was a very warm day and we could relax a little bit. Oh, and this area is closer to the train station, so you can also switch around the activities. Come here first and go to Petit Mura after, as it's closer to the museum. And after that, you're very close to our next destination, Inokashira Park. I think I came here in 2009 during cherry blossom time. It was so crowded that I don't recognize it in such an empty state. Oh, and it's also the park that you can visit in Persona 5, so I recreated it in Animal Crossing. If you're here during cherry blossom time, you can come here and experience how everyone is picnicking and having a good time. In every other season, it's also a perfect little park and you can enjoy some nature in Tokyo. But I have to say, this whole area is very nice and not very touristy, so if you want to do some shopping with less people, it's perfect as well, as they have most of the popular store in Kichijoji. Our slot at the Ghibli Museum was at 4 p.m, so we slowly headed to the building, which is on the way when you pass the park. We arrived 30 minutes earlier and had some time to explore the entrance, which was adorable as there was a giant Totoro at the ticket counter. I love that the aesthetic here reminded me of Petit Mura, and I also recommend you to come earlier than your time slot, since otherwise you will be waiting in a long queue. And I feel like at the 4 p.m. slot you want to enter as early as you can, as the museum closes at 6 p.m. Maybe don't book the 4 p.m. slot, but go for an earlier one as it gives you more time in there. We could finally enter and look at our super cute ticket, which shows scenes from different movies. Filming on the inside of the museum is not allowed, so I will talk about the experience for a bit. What you have to know about me first, I like Ghibli, but not all of the movies, and I would consider myself to be more of a Makoto Shinkai fan. To be honest, I didn't even know if I would enjoy the museum that much, but everyone that I asked told me that it was worth it. And what should I say, the museum really impressed me, and I would love to come here again. Every detail was perfect. There was a playground for kids with a giant cat bus from Totoro, and replicas of Miyazaki's rooms, which were so cluttered that you wanted to spend hours in them and look for every small item. There were also photo books of the places he went to get some inspo for his movies, and also a store with unique Ghibli merch. It was also very nice because in the photo books there were places that were very close from where I live in, so we tried to spot if we know some of them. And the best part, you can watch a special Ghibli movie that is only available here. We got one with some mice that were sumo fighters, but the movie changes every now and then, so it is worth it to even go there multiple times. It was such a unique experience, it made me want to rewatch all of the Ghibli movies and pay more attention to Miyazaki's biography. So if you're not sure if you should go or not, do it, it's so nice. When we saw all of the areas in the museum, it was dark outside and we enjoyed some sweets from the cafe that's inside the museum. We left shortly before the museum closed and walked for around 20 minutes to a train station to catch a train to Tachikawa Station. I don't know if this area is famous for anything, but since we came around Halloween, they had some events themed around that, and I saw that Yokai Bonondori was taking place, which is a demon festival. The closer we came, the louder the music was, and we knew that we were on the right way. I didn't know what to expect, but I was so amazed. The lanterns gave this place such a cool vibe, and they were playing city pop on a stage, and everyone was having fun. The stalls offered food, handmade jewelry, toys, art, and some people were dressed up as yokai, but you could also buy masks here and adapt to their style. On the other side, there was another stage with DJs and performers, but you had to pay an entrance fee for that. But for us, the free stage was sufficient, so we didn't get them. Around 10 p.m. the festival was over, but we were so happy that we came here and experienced such a cool event. If you're here during the time, make sure to come to this place. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will be back with one more Tokyo vlog before we head to northern Japan. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a sub or a comment, as I really appreciate it. See you next week. Bye bye!